So, I read The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones during a depressive episode, and in hindsight, that was maybe not the best choice because it's a book about grief, guilt, generational trauma, all the heavy hitters. But everyone said that it would be a book that would break me, like emotionally traumatize me, and I was looking for something like that at that moment, something other than my existential crisis that would traumatize me. But I felt nothing, like absolutely zero. To be fair, the Only Good Indians, it has all the ingredients you need to make for an emotionally gutting read. Like, it's about four native Indian men and something they did in their past, like in their teenage years, and the consequences of that coming back to haunt them. Like, it had everything, like supernatural haunting, cultural disconnection, then revenge of the nature, like nature coming back to take its revenge, and grief, guilt, regret, haunting, literal haunting. It had everything, and I did not feel. Oh my god, again I was punching the microphone. So it had everything, and I did not feel anything emotionally. So let's dissect why it did not work for me as it should have. So first let's talk about the pacing. Maybe that was the reason why I did not like it. The book is divided into three or four parts. If you count the prologue as a part, then it's a four-part book. And I liked part one. Like, I liked the story of Lewis a lot because there was tension in the story, there was build up in the story. I liked his character more than the other characters, and I could feel, like the way his mind was working and going haywire and all that. I could see it coming, and I could, like the anticipation of it all, like it was good. I liked that part, and when things, like when shit hit the fan, I was all for it. But then POV changed, okay, and the part 2 happened, and part 2, it was, I mean, no offense, but I was so not interested in the characters, like what was happening on the reservation and all that. Because I'm not very familiar with the culture and all that, maybe because of that. But I think this is where the writing comes into play. So the writing is very stream of consciousness kind of a writing. Like, the way I'm talking, it's very rambly, very easygoing, very conversational kind of a writing. And I was listening to the audiobook. So audiobook at first, maybe because I was not gelling with the narrator or something, which happens, which can happen. So I switched to the physical, like the ebook. So reading with my eyeballs, okay. So I switched to that. So I was liking Lewis's POV, and then this thing happened. Gabe's POV came. Okay, Gabe, the friend who was very boisterous and like the maybe the most damaged of them all, and his POV came, and I just did not give a fuck. Like, I I'm like, yeah, your life is all fucked up and all that. I understand that, but like some of it is a choice, maybe, or maybe because the writing, the stream of consciousness writing, the way Gabe was speaking, like it was very annoying to me. Like, I did not like his voice at all, and I understand, like, it's a horror book, and in horror books you rarely get people who are very very like likable or Mary Sue's or whatever. But I have to root for this character to care about what happens to him, right? And I was not rooting for him. Like, I sort of wanted him to die anyway. So the stream of consciousness writing, maybe that's why I did not gel with it. But as far as I remember, the Night of the Mannequins, which is a novella by the same author, it also had similar kind of writing, and I like that one so much. And also, My Heart is a Chainsaw. That one also I like. I loved that book, okay? And that's why I was so hyped to read this book, because everyone was like, My Heart is a Chainsaw is not that good, but The Only Good Indians is a better book and all that. And I was like, okay, like I liked it a lot. I liked My Heart is a Chainsaw a lot. So I was thinking that maybe I like this one better or something like that. But no, that was not the case. In that book, the main character Jade was not the most likable, but I still was rooting for her. Okay, the entire time I was rooting for her. But here, of the four characters, Louis was still fine. But the other characters, I mean, Ricky is not there. Gabe, Cass, I did not give a fuck. That's the and what else was there? Pacing was okay. Like, the part one was good. Part two did not have any tension, any build up, any sort of, like, all the good things were not there. And part three, I mean, what was up with that basketball thing? Like, what? Why would you choose to have that in the middle of the act 3 of a violent horror book? I don't know. It was a choice which I don't stand for. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad book. The Only Good Indians is trying to do something really interesting here. Like, it's kind of, like molding together folk horror themes with like personal and cultural guilt, regret, like things that you could have done but you did not do. And maybe that was a choice, or maybe that was, like because of generational trauma or something like that. Something out of your, like power to change. And that is a different like interesting conversation that we could be having. But unfortunately, the book did not land for me, and I was emotionally unavailable for that relationship. So maybe sometimes it's the book, sometimes it's you, or sometimes it's just depression. So yeah, reading The Only Good Indians during a depressing episode was a choice, and I have to live with that choice. Like the people in the book had to live with the choices. So would I reread the book sometime in the future? Maybe. Would it hit harder? Possibly. But right now it's going on the shelf that says books that were supposed to make me feel something but did not. So let me know down in the comments if there is any book that was supposed to make you feel something but it did not. Like everyone else around you was sobbing and you were like, what? So yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.